Hi everyone. Today we're going to have Faith West talk about where did they all start, and then how did our partnership get them to grow their schools. And we have our wonderful principals, Mary and Gina, with us, and they're going to share with us what their experience was like. So let's invite them in. Hi, Gina. Hi, Mary. Thanks for joining
Hi.
us. And I know we met about a year and a half ago, almost, I think, and it's been a pleasure. You guys have been such a blessing to us, and we're so grateful that we can work together to kind of tell the great stories of Faith West. So I'll let you guys introduce yourself, and then we'll start talking about Faith West.
I'm Mary Strickland. I'm the principal at Faith West. I've been here since 1986.
And I am Gina Bickerstaff, and I'm the assistant principal, and I have been here since 2011.
Wow, that's awesome. And you guys also have families there. The children are there as well, and grandchildren, right? So you are well invested in Faith West.
Yes, very much so.
So where did we start with Faith West? Can you guys tell us a little bit about why Christian school and how did Faith West even come into existence?
Absolutely. Faith West Academy opened in 1982. Our founder, Gary Kerr, had been a pastor, part of a ministry, and had just really felt very called to come to the west part of Houston and open a school. And that's how the whole thing got started. In 1982, we opened serving pre-K through 12. And we just pretty much have not looked back ever since then. The mandate, the goal here at Faith West Academy has always been following scripture that says, train up a child in the way he should go. And understanding that part of that is the way he should go. We all share that same way, which is following Jesus, but also understanding that the way he should go also means how has God gifted each child? How has God, what talents or favorites has God given to those children? And it's up to us to find the way that that child should go through the way that we educate them.
That is beautiful. Thank you, Mary, for that. That is great. And can you share with us some of, I'm sure there's so many, but one or two, moments that you can see that, how that transformation happened, where that God moment for these children really impacted that it would not happen outside of the school system that you guys are providing and the environment that you guys have created at Faith West.
Absolutely. One of the things that we really work hard to do is provide a lot of different electives, fine arts. We have a thriving ag department. We offer a lot of different sports. We try to provide all of those different areas that kids can try out so they can see what they like. And so one of the stories that I love to tell, we do have international students that come to school here at Faith West. And one of our international students showed up from China, never having ever played a sport in his life, and ended up winning whatever race it was that he ran at the state competition. Had never even run. Our coaches had to teach him actually, how do you run? What are the mechanics of that? And that kid would have never, if he had not been at Faith West Academy and us looking at him saying, Sean, what is it that you really love to do? Then he would have never had gotten that award. And so that's just one of many stories like that, where we're just looking for what really makes that kid tick and figuring out a way that we can help them.
Exactly. Wow.
participate in that.
Yeah. And I'll piggyback on that and say we have an elementary student who's been here for a couple of years now. And when they first came interested in being a student at Faith West, we sat down with the parents and we were looking at, entrance criteria. I was saying, it's going to be an uphill battle for this kiddo. We're pretty concerned. And the parents, we formed a team around this kiddo, and that kiddo is now thriving in upper elementary from a kiddo who just, kind of fell through the cracks in a public school. And he's one of the top students in the class now. And that's, that's academically, but it's also done, he's really grown emotionally and socially and spiritually through all of this as well.
And imagine the confidence level he probably feels now, and I feel like, but I can conquer everything now. I feel like,
Absolutely.
I can even take on so many challenges because he doesn't feel so fell down, right? That is
Exactly.
those are great stories. And one of the things that I would love to hear as well, because you guys have go from pre-K to all the way to high school. High school is an interesting time. I have a child who's in high school, and I'm learning a lot. Wow, it's very different. And I'm grateful for Christian educations available in my area. How would you kind of articulate your high school experience for the children or the students? They're not children anymore; they're actually teens. And what would you say, Mary, is so unique about your high school right now?
Well, I think there are a lot of things that make us unique. Number one, because of our size, which is smaller, we're
Mm,
here in Texas. And in the state of Texas, football is everything.
mm,
And sports, really, participating in sports is very, very important. Our local public high schools have 3 or 4 thousand kids in them. To be
mhm.
able to make the football team, the basketball team, the volleyball team,
Yeah.
to be a really elite athlete.
Mm,
Most kids that come to Faith West can find a place to plug in an athletic team.
mm,
And the thing is the life lessons you learn being a part of a team is that they are invaluable. And even if you're not the best athlete out there, you're still learning those life lessons of how do you get along with your peers? How do you work hard? How do you learn how to lose? How do you learn how to win? I think
mm,
that's one of the things that makes us unique. The biggest thing, the biggest uniqueness that we can be proud of
mhm,
is the fact that we are able, because of our size and because of our commitment,
mhm.
to look at every student individually.
Right.
We have this thing we call SAIL, SAIL. It's student adapted individualized learning. And
Nice.
that means literally every student that walks in the door, they immediately fall under that SAIL umbrella. And we are looking at where they are academically, what they like to do
Nice.
socially, what extra activities they like to participate in. And so we are able to put together a plan, an academic plan, an extracurricular plan, a spiritual plan for those kids, so that everybody is plugged exactly where they need to be in the classes that they're going to and the things they're doing after school as well.
That is awesome because you know what, as the word says, people perish if they don't have a vision. You guys are actually taking these children in, and you're putting a plan and a vision for them, and not just taking them keeping them
Right.
where they are, but taking them from where they are to where they need to be, right?
That's
That is
correct.
awesome. That is great. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as you guys were doing that, you were having some challenges online, and we got a chance. Our cross roads met, and tell me us a little bit about that. Why did you decide to call us or come to connect with us? Where did that?
So, as we get as educators a lot of emails every single day, marketing this product or that product or this company or that company. And we were, as an organization, really looking for a marketing team who
Mm,
could work with us and understand our vision and mission and not try
mhm,
to change who we are in
mhm,
marketing our school. And so when we had an email from digital consultants come through, and I went to Dr. Strickland and I said, "Hey, I really think that we should look into this. It's worth it. We're looking for a marketing company. We're looking for someone to help us sell the school. We are very busy. We're not, our job is not strictly marketing, even though that's really what we do all the time with the school, but it's not our job.
mhm,
We needed someone to come in and manage our social media. We needed someone to cohesively put a plan in place for us. So when your email came across and we reached out to you after that first meeting and realizing that you personally were invested in Christian education and understood the very unique challenges that Christian education holds in terms of enrollment and gathering clientele and various things like that, we just thought that it was a really good fit. And within the first, I don't know, 2 weeks after we signed our contract with you guys, we had a full social media plan
mhm.
and a full
Right.
website plan in hand. So that's what drew us to you initially. And we have been so incredibly pleased with how this relationship has been built and how true you guys stay to our vision and mission at Faith West Academy.
I love that. Thank you so much. And you know what? I'm not, I didn't even ask you to say any of that stuff. I didn't. We didn't agree on this. We're just having a conversation, so which is great. Is exactly what it is, that you know what it's when like-minded people come together, and everybody can contribute to each other's skill sets. We're able to like really forecast what it is, right? And you, when we met you guys, we were just like, wow, they're doing a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of fun stuff that you're doing, and we can really easily message that, right? And
Mhm.
we had a really fun time messaging your website. We had fun time messaging your social media. How do you think your social media is looking like now versus
Oh
before?
my goodness.
So good.
It's amazing. It's really wonderful. On our website, I mean, social media is great. It's chugging along. I see it pops up on my socials all
Mine
the
too.
time. But the website revamp has been, I mean, it's really been probably one of the best things that has that
agree.
we've done,
I agree.
because it needed a revamp, and y'all just took it in all its chaos and in all its craziness, and you just you just ran with it, and we are so grateful for that as well. And it's so much easier to navigate, and it's
Right.
really our vision that y'all were able to create from our
It
conversations.
absolutely is. And you know, look, you're looking at Gina and I. We are clearly from two different generations. I could be her mother, um, but I think that's another important piece of this whole puzzle. Is I stay pretty well on top of social media myself, more than maybe some people that are my age. But and so what you guys are doing for us on social media is reaching all of the generations. So we have plenty of kids here whose grandparents are paying for them to come. They've decided that that they're willing to invest in that. You've got to appeal to the grandparents just as much as you do the parents of the preschoolers. And so y'all have just done a fabulous job there with all of that.
Well, you know what? We can have done it unless it's a partnership, right? And I think the partnership really connected from day one. I believe in
Mhm.
that,
Right.
and that you know what, the vision, we were able to articulate each of our vision, and are we on the same vision? Are we on the
Mhm.
same path? And I think those are one of the key things that I would love to see more schools coming together and saying, hey, you know what, unity and excellence is one of the best things to do it together,
Mhm.
right? So I'm so glad that we got a chance to do that revamp of the website, and I think definitely the website journey is so much more better. Parents at least can find their way into where it is. I know in the
Mhm.
beginning it was a little tough because anything new is hard, right? But once we
Mhm.
get ourselves used to it, it's really great, right?
Mhm.
So that
Yeah.
is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story and even our relationship. Now, what is it for Faith West? What are you looking forward to in the future for Faith West? And what are you hoping to accomplish in Faith West right now?
Well, I would say, one of the things that you mentioned earlier, Jen, was our personal investment in the school. And, Dr. Strickland has two grandbabies here. All three of her children went here. I was a student here. My siblings were students here. And now my three children are students here. So personally, I want to see my own children thrive going through right now elementary school and then up into junior high and high school. But I would say overall, I want to build from the bottom up. We want kids at all grade levels, but it is the most amazing thing to see when you have kids that start at 2 years old in our preschool who then graduate in 12th graders. And I love watching that journey, and I can't wait to see where that journey takes us. And just being able to minister to this generation of students, I think it's a blessing. It's a privilege. It's very significant that, it's something that neither of us take lightly as part of our job.
You know, we have such a strong calling to educate our students in the biblical worldview and helping them to take all of the information that's out there, everything that you're inundated every day from through news channels, social media, music, TV, all of the different messages that are out there, and really training our kids how to sort through it all within what we know God's truth is. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we want to see Faith West grow. We want to see Faith West thrive. We want to see Faith West still around 50 years from now, because educating kids in that biblical worldview where they can really thoughtfully sort through all of the information out there and figure out how they can live a life in service to God. That's really what we're here for.
And that's where the success comes from, right? At the end of the day, you know what, if we rip everything out and just go back to what you said as a biblical worldview, if they have the foundation understanding of the word, they will strive anywhere they are in what challenges they're in, right?
Mhm.
So what you guys are doing is meaning that is that, you know, Faith West not going anywhere, and we need to make sure, you know, that our great grandchildren also have a Christian
Mhm.
education. Christian education is not something going away anytime soon. For all those
Mhm.
people who are saying is, you know what, is dying down, it's not dying down. If anything, is coming more powerfully up, and
Mhm.
it's going to be a more deep thing to go, right? And
Right.
as you pop as US and Canada is very similar, where school foundation started in biblical truth. It started with the
Mhm.
Bible. Actually, in Canada, the first textbook was the Bible.
Mhm. Right.
And it's amazing that, you know, my heart desire is to see more Christian schools in every corner. I'd rather
Mhm.
have that
Yes.
problem than not enough, right?
That's right. Exactly.
And, you
Yes.
know, as you doing that, you know, you have to invest your time, and you know, Mary, you are so educated. You can be so much other places, right? But you are overly qualified, but you are humbling yourself, and you are where you are. Why is that, Mary? Why?
Well, first of all, you humble me. Okay. I, my husband and I, before we had children, we knew about the existence of Faith West Academy.
Mm,
It was brand new. We got married in 1982. That's when the school opened, and we decided before I ever got pregnant with our first child that we were going to put our kids in Christian education. We didn't
wow.
grow up in Christian education, but
Mhm.
we, you know, as young adults trying to figure out how we're going to live that life and how we're going to raise kids, we recognized that the biblical truth was going to be an important part of what their education needed to include. And so I was already, I had graduated from college as a math teacher, and we just decided that I would teach in a Christian school. My kids would grow up in a Christian school, and I didn't ever envision that I would be here now with my grandchildren here and actually the principal of the school. But that obviously, you know, God knew.
Yeah.
Um, but that's the commitment. The commitment 100% is to Christian education. And I got my master's degree and my doctorate
Wow.
with that intention, you know, that I just want to further Christian education, and I want to be a good example. I mean, I want Christian educators to be people that can be respected because
Mhm.
we're lifelong learners who are always looking at what's going on out there and wanting to do the best job that we can for our students.
That is beautiful. That is awesome. And that's what it's at the end of the day about, right? If you're passionate about it and you are committed to it, why not give it all, right? So
Mhm.
I love that about that. Tell us a little bit about your staffs in general. I'm sure they're, you know, they're very educated, and they're very overly qualified. But some of the unique things that you can call out of your staffs that are coming out on board. I don't know if you have new staffs coming on board as well. Be nice to hear a little bit about your staff.
Well, I would say that they are the most passionate educators.
Yes.
Mm.
They all have such unique personalities, and every day in interacting with them, I'm just always humbled by the fact that God brought them here for this
Mm.
time. And even when we have a teacher who has to move in the middle of the year, a teacher that comes in and replaces him or her, it's just like, how did we not have you forever? I mean, we are truly a family, and I think that's what makes our staff unique is they welcome all of these kiddos. They welcome each other with open arms. They call on each other. They minister to each other. Yes, they are overly qualified to do their jobs, and they we could not do what we do if
Mm.
we did not have the staff. They are the boots on the ground. What they do every day is, you know, I could sit and teach in an English classroom, and Mary could sit and teach in a math classroom any day, but I do not want to do the job of my kindergarten teacher any day.
Oh,
And so to look at God's
Special
gifting
grade, special grade.
is amazing. And we're so grateful for
we
them.
are. We really
We
are.
have amazing teachers, and they're what hold the school up.
Mhm. For
And
sure.
I'm sure if we ask them, they will say the same thing about you guys. Because Gina, I know you were off yesterday, but you are replying to emails. I'm like, and then I had to go back to the email and read it. Did she say she's off and she's listening? And so the
Yeah.
commitment is even on your days off. You guys are well committed. But even Gina, you are, tell us a little bit about you and why you chose Christian education and stick around there.
So I was a student at Faith West through the mid to late 90s, and when I first got into teaching after college, I taught in a public school, and I always had a feeling that I would somehow end up back at Faith West. And God opened a door for me to be here before we got pregnant with our first kiddo. And I think our story is pretty interesting because, and I tell Dr. Strickland this, my husband probably would not have really put much emphasis on Christian education. And then once I became first a teacher here and then got my master's and an administrator, and we put the kiddos started in preschool, he can't imagine them being anywhere else.
Wow.
So it's a conversion story for him. But I didn't realize the how this has shaped our lives until I have watched my own 3 children walk through it, and how I hear my kindergarten daughter coming home talking about Bible stories and just how it's already shaped them at such young ages. And
Wow.
being here has been, for my children and our family, the greatest blessing that I can imagine. And I will fight tooth and nail for everything that we do as a school because I believe so much in it. And, our greatest investment are our own children.
That's right.
And this is our family. This is probably their second home, if not their first home, and during the school year and during the summer. And it is, I believe wholeheartedly that we are doing and walking the path that God has laid before us.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you guys are being so transparent and sharing us your story. I totally agree. I think I'm more similar to your husband because I had a conversion experience as well. I always said, you know what, I'll take care of the whole faith thing, let the school education. Only thing to understand that, you know what, they actually go hand in hand. And I don't think I would ever take my kids. I know for sure my husband and I will never ever take our kids out of Christian education because of the value and the investment that is. So this is to our listeners right now. If you are in Katy Town in Texas, and if you are looking for an awesome school, here's amazing school. Faith West Academy has been here for a long time. You guys heard from the leadership team; they are committed to your children, and you can go through the website and see the value proposition. So why they're here, why they want to invest into your children. And if you are interested, you can book a tour. You can just click on this and select your availability and what your grades are, and one of the staff members will get back to you soon as the next business day. So if you are in the town in Katy Town, you need to check this out and you need to book a tour. At least give it a shot, and you will see you won't be disappointed. All right.
That's right.
Ladies, thank you so much for your time, and thank you guys for just telling your story and just being a blessing to these children. And I know your reward is eternal. You're not looking for reward here, but we bless you in here for many things to come for you guys. All right, thank you guys again.
Thank you.